She looked so sweet like that. As the perfect background for my phone. She must never learn of this, though. Okay. Because I don't think I'd survive. But it'd be worth it. After going home that night, Olivia texted me all night and well into the morning. We ended up talking about all sorts of things. Mia, our art, various shows, just about everything. Never seen her that excited before. For someone with sore hands, she sure types fast. And for someone that doesn't like talking much talk And for someone that doesn't much like talking at all, she sure types a lot. I certainly can't keep up. And when she didn't want to talk, she sent more doodles and sketches. Sleep wasn't really an option on my end either. And Guts' doodle ventures were quite entertaining to read. Since then, we've been texting more every night. Not as much, since I do need my sleep. But right now, I'm just waiting for art class to end. Mr. Triggums. What kind of name is that? Mr. Triggums is apparently one of those substitutes that demands complete silence until class is over, but doesn't care beyond that. So even though I'm sitting about 2 feet away from Olivia, we're having to text each other. She's quite the storyteller with these doodles. Like right now, as I try to keep up with the tale of Guts writing, what's he writing again? Okay, wait a minute. Top one. Beat him for me. Just break his flashing stick thingy. Then his pics will be super dark. Or lock him in a bathroom or something. Oh, I just remembered I needed another pic. Can you try shoving him into the wedding cake and taking a pic of him smash onto the floor? Okay, wait. Well, if the conversation keeps going, then that would be way up there, and there'd be a bunch of things in between it. But whatever, you don't feel like writing anything else. That's fine. I need it. Okay. What's he writing again? He's piloting the main golem from Gundam Finn. A giant robot from one of the shows she's been wanting us to watch together. I mean, we would. I totally want to. Just Olivia and I, sitting side by side on my couch. Maybe as we're getting tired, we start leaning against each other. I could even offer to keep her warm. Whoops. Catching my phone on the precipice of my desk, I see that Olivia had sent an even more detailed version of the previous Guts drawing. What the hell? And this is why, for how dumb as it is, Finn is still fun to watch. What am I looking at? I don't get it. You almost didn't get your phone just now. If you'd watch it, you would. These fucking rats. They're so bad. One day, maybe. Though only if it's with her. One day, yes. Crap, teacher. Don't want to lose my phone. Okay. After a couple minutes without any alerts, I accept that the Gator Girl really is done for now. With a quick look at the clock on the wall, I figured I've got a few more minutes before I absolutely must hide my own phone. Attican's been out for about a week and a half, so we've been stuck with Mr. Triggums. Apparently he doesn't like electives. I swipe back, looking through the pieces she'd sent me over the last couple hours. A lot of the references go over my head, but the few that don't earn a hearty chuckle from me. Then there's the more detailed ones, the drawings that'd be good enough to actually render. I smile as I save those. I'd been meaning to ask if she'd finished one, back when she started doing this. But I never got around to it, simply saving it in the folder. A folder that's grown to a couple dozen now. Would Jerome Collection please come to the office? You can barely understand those fucking things. You're in the store and you're like, who's supposed to go where? Huh? How do you get anything done like this? Like, whoever you're trying to communicate with is already busy, so they're probably not that able to... I don't know, man. Like, how can they hear this shit? Would Jerome Clarkson please come to the office? Thank you. The announcement makes me nearly drop my phone again. They'd been going on all morning, just calling random students to the office. A buzz from my phone has me check it again to see another message from the Gator Girl. Never mind. Teach is acting weird today. Weird? I look at our substitute. Mr. Triggums isn't paying any attention to us. In fact, he's just kinda looking through the desk he's sat at. Weird. The same here. Think it has to do with the office thing? I don't know. I was thinking maybe it was the short day, maybe. That was another thing. I think the entire class realized something was up with how fast class periods were going today. Every once in a while, there were half days in school. Nowadays, I'm just sitting there like, I woke up 5 minutes ago and it's already 2 o'clock, huh? Good Lord. Yeah, we're gonna put that back down now. Oh man, now it's not gonna charge properly. After dropping it multiple times like a dumbass, I'm gonna have to really push it in there and then leave it and then go, okay, now it's staying. Now it's continuing to say that it's charging. Oh, nope, never mind. Please connect to the charger. Now we're good. Now it'll charge. Just gotta leave it alone. I look at my phone on the floor, the corner of the screen chipped away. Picking it back up before any of the classmates can step on it on their way to lunch, I also just noticed that Ben wasn't here in class either. Oh, it's just like mine now. Oh my Lord. Wait a minute. Hey, you couldn't see it with the quality of the camera. Hurry up. Short day means lunch is earlier. Heading to lunch, I realize I'm actually not that hungry. Strange, but I guess it's an internal clock thing. So I'm just so used to eating at the same time every day. It's cold outside. Maybe it's cold outside, or whatever it's called. What was that yell? Oh my god. Looks like I'm not the only one, as the usual war zone in the cafeteria has expanded to spill into the surrounding hallways. It's loud enough to even cover up the continued announcements. Urkel? Oh no. Oh god. No. Not Urkel.
Did I do that?
Thank you. Mostly. I've gotten pretty good at weaving through the chaos relatively unscathed. Man, these guys have so much energy. Have way too much energy. What are they even fighting about? But as always, the table is in the back is left alone. What the hell is that? What is that? Why did you have that? What? Sorry. Damien is chattering loudly about his day so far to Olivia, who's occasionally poking Liz across the table with a toy claw hand. The gang. The gang. Oh! Oh! Liz flails her arms around to shoo away the offending poke, but never bothers to crane her neck down from the rafters. She perks up when she sees me. Yo, Cinco! Hey, what's going on at the Olive Garden today? I don't know. Sonic's in there, I guess. Whack his noggin. Oh! The meter stick falls on my head. Oh! It's just a joke. A quip. You see it all the time in Marvel movies. How long did it take you to come up with that one? It was about 2 in the morning last night. Whack him again. Oh! Hey! Best $10 I've ever spent. You spent $10 on that. What is this economy? My god. That would... You would get that at a Dollar Tree. Oh my god. It looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. Just like the real one. She'll bully you for saying dumb stuff. Bite me. She makes the head gnaw at my face a little. I'll go sit somewhere else then. We're not friends anymore. Do it. I got a new friend right here. Oh wow. I have an actual friend that isn't addicted to makeup pheromones. That makes me so happy. Your ventriloquism needs a bit of work. I still think it's a little weird. Oh, live a little. Say, you guys aren't eating either? It's too early. I'll just eat when I get home. The lunch ladies don't really try on half days. I guess it is a half day, huh? Why did they do half days? Don't they not try normally? The difference makes itself known. I was out for like a week. If that's implying what I think it is, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna steal some of whatever Olivia makes later. Get your own. Oh. Yeah, I've changed my mind. She has too much power. This is great. Give me that. Olivia reaches over to gnaw on Damien again, and I snatch it out of the air. No! I aim to hitch it right into Olivia's snout. Bullseye, it's clamped shut. The evil is defeated. Yeah. While I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, Olivia uses the chance to grab the hand back. Fine, no more claw today. She hastily stuffs the plastic toy in her backpack. After some more small talk, Damien's attention wanders towards Liz, who seems to be lost in thought. Hey Liz, what's in your head? Huh? Oh, I was just thinking about earlier today. I was talking to Principal Scaler this morning while running some errands for Stuco. She was really out of it. Out of it? Yeah, like she didn't want to be here today. I tried to pry, but she clammed up. I've never seen her like that before. She must have drank bad coffee or something. I don't think that makes people sad. I can tell you from experience, it just really makes you have to... Looks like I got a text. Liz pulls out her phone, craning her head down to get a better look at the screen. It's from Ben. Come, having a student council meeting. Normally it's a bit more formal than that, but I guess since it's a half day and all. Oh well, duty calls. Sorry for having to leave early, guys. No worries, Liz. We can meet up after school. Sounds good. I'll see you all later then. What would you guys want to do after school? I don't know. Maybe we can hang out at my place. Too cold to get in the pool, but I'm sure we can think of something. I'll look over to Olivia, who doesn't seem to have any objections to the idea, but no input of her own. Got any ideas, Liv? Nope. We could doodle some stuff. Like charades? Yeah, make it into a game of sorts. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Then I can really wipe the floor with Olivia. Is the drawing thing gonna come back up again? I hope so. Well, except I don't have any ideas right now. Oh, save your breath, Nito. You know my stuff will own you in your chicken scratch. Wanna bet? That's a sucker bet. Alright then, loser has to pay for food. Deal. We shake hands, making the wager official. Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Actor. The monotone voice of the intercom, combined with the strange atmosphere of the school, is starting to unnerve me. Wait, you know what else unnerves me? Sorry. We all look at the Gator girl, who rolls her eyes and starts wheeling away from the table and towards the exit. After she'd left, everything felt more off. Lunch came to an end, and the school day was close to the same. Just a couple more periods before we can hang out somewhere with all the extra free time. I look at Olivia's desk, still empty 5 minutes into Prockling's class. I mean, yeah, she hates this class the most, but it's really become a habit at this point. Just like how it's become a habit for me to write an extra set of notes for Olivia. I look at the 2 mostly blank pages in front of me. Like with their other teachers, I notice something's off with Prockling. She barely says anything, instead just asking us to read the chapter on the Great War. I do just as asked, and 5 pages in, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that it was the stupidest reason for a world war to break out. What do you mean by that? A bunch of European countries unhappy with being ruled by a bunch of other European empires, deciding to revolt and dragging all their allies into the quagmire. I'm really struggling to make sense of the information, made worse with how outdated the textbooks are. Seriously, they're written so bad it ought to be a crime. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting into that Redditor shit. It oozes pro-Gilded Age corporatism, the kind that genuinely believed that anything bigger than a gathering of 10 people was a form of unionism. With a sigh, I busy myself with taking notes for myself and Olivia. I mean, they're not that wrong or anything, but still. As I do, my eyes continue to wander the classroom. Everyone looks just as disinterested in the subject matter. I look over to Prockling, and she herself doesn't seem interested in the subject matter as well. In fact, she's just kinda staring off into space. It's highly unusual considering how much emphasis she puts on proper class focus. Yet there she is, spacing out like she's no better than the teenagers she teaches on the daily. I'm almost tempted to raise my hand and ask her a question to snap her back to reality when the room speakers come to life. What incognito, please report to the office. Incognito, please report to the office. I look up to Miss Prockling. I got called, but she's still the arbiter of who leaves her class and when. But she doesn't meet my eyes at all. If anything, it looks like she's actively trying to avoid eye contact. I pack my things and shuffle out of the classroom. All the while she stares and murmurs from other students, while the stares and murmurs from other students grow ever more intense. My mind immediately begins to wonder, why am I being summoned to the office? They sure are calling up a lot of people. Maybe it's related to 2 weeks ago. That would make sense. The only thing keeping me company on my march to the principal's office is the sound of rubber soles on tile. They must spend a fortune on polishing these floors. It's not long before I notice other pairs of footsteps coming from somewhere ahead of me. I squint my eyes, quickly recognizing the figure that approaches. It's Ben. I guess the student council wrapped up their meeting, though there's no sign of Liz anywhere. As the parasaur makes his way closer, I notice he has a complicated expression on his face. Hey Ben, what's going on? He flinches as I call his name and looks around like a lost child before he spots me. We make eye contact for a few seconds, but he doesn't say anything. Everything alright, dude? Just tell me. For God's sake. Suddenly he turns away and continues down the hall. A sinking feeling takes hold of my chest. I almost try to speak up and stop him, but can't think of anything to say. It's 3 words. Well, something... Well, 4 words. Is something going on? Like... I'd better get going. What the hell is that? Stefano! I'm sorry. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That's what it immediately reminded me of. Hey, dudes. We're absolutely fucked. Oh, those were the days. After another minute of walking, I reach the door to the principal's office and find it wide open. Come in. I step into the office and close the door behind me, following the source of the deep voice. Well, Mr. Ideken has been out for a while. I realize now that I've never seen the interior of the office before. It's fairly standard for an office, a long wooden desk, filing cabinet, a few potted plants, and a couple of shelves for storing all sorts of things. However, on closer inspection, I notice things look a little more disheveled than I expected. Manila folders are strewn across the desk, one of the filing cabinet drawers hangs open, and potted plants are either overwatered or wilting. Is this really Scalar's office? Mr. Nito? My attention is suddenly pulled away towards the hulking figure sitting behind the desk. I can only imagine what that office chair is going through right now. Sir? Is everything all right? Have a seat, please. He motions to a small plastic chair on my side of the desk. How have you been, Inko? I oblige his request, taking a seat and trying to suppress my anxiety. I think I'm doing well. He nods to himself, holding his eyes closed. Don't tell me. Oh. That's good to hear. The whale looks down at an open folder on his desk, taking a moment to look over some kind of document. I have news for you regarding your instructor for AP Art Design and Photography. Don't tell me. You mean Mr. Ideken? Yes, Mr. Ideken. A fine teacher, if student surveys here are anything to go by. He also spoke quite highly of you. Do you have a strong relationship with him? Yeah, I think so. Did something happen? My heart drops as Ferris's brow lowers ever so slightly. Suddenly, his tone completely shifts into one more clinical. Over the last 2 years, Mr. Ideken has been suffering from a rare form of chondrous... Okay, let me figure this out first. Chondrosarcoma. Okay. Over the last 2 years, Mr. Ideken has been suffering from a rare form of chondrosarcoma that originated in his vertebrae. His tone is heavy. I don't quite know what ailment he just named. His tone is heavy. I don't quite know what ailment he just named, like he should spit on the doctors responsible for discovering it. But the practiced movements and worn-out features are undeniable. He's by no means a fragile man, but the tiredness he tries to hide is barely concealed. Every student he's broken the news to has taken something more from him. Tensing himself slightly to be as tactful as he can, he attempted reverence. The attempted reverence is lost, as the recited scripted lines just a few too many times. Tensing himself slightly to be as tactful as he can, the attempted reverence is lost as he recited scripted lines just a few too many times already. He can't muster much more than this flat citation. This analysis means nothing. I'm just distracting myself from the reality of the situation, as though prolonging a confirmation will keep it from happening. Mr. Ferris notices my subtle confusion and clarifies like he must have done a few dozen times already. Bone cancer. Mr. Ideken was well advised by medical professionals about the treatment options available to him, and the district offered him a generous medical leave in recognition of his tenure here at St. Hammond. He turned both of these down. The cacophony of thoughts swirling in my head makes it nearly impossible to think, impossible to focus on anything. Right now all I can do is revel in it. Time passes. I'm not sure how much, but I still can't get a grip on my own mind. Ferris is calmly waiting for me to say something, but I can tell he's becoming uncomfortable. There's only one thing that I can muster the will to ask. Why? The whale grimaces. I wish I had an answer. His inflection tells of his own questioning thoughts. The exchange seems to give Ferris the energy to continue out, however. On Sunday, Mr. Ideken was hospitalized due to complications with his illness. He passed away the following morning. Olivia was called here before me. Counseling will be available for you and anybody else affected. Sorry, do you know where Olivia went? No, she didn't say. I'd like to go now, Mr. Ferris. Yes, feel free. I stand up from the plastic chair, pushing it closer to the principal's desk. Offering one last nod to the superintendent, I let myself out to the office. As soon as the door clicks shut, I start running. Shit, where would she go? The studio room, maybe? Hi. It's the best lead I have. Thanks to all those gym classes, I'll have no trouble getting there quickly. My new destination takes me up the main staircase of the school and onto the second floor. It's not long before I'm staring down the hallway of Vatican's classroom. I breathe a sigh of relief as I spot Olivia sat in front of the door. God, what do I even say to her? My thoughts come crashing to a halt as I see another dinosaur beside her, gesturing manically. Ben? From an outsider's view, it looks like Ben is trying to talk her into something. But there's such a stark contrast between their moods. I suppose Ben is mourning too, but maybe he's just handling it differently. That's the plan I have in mind. What do you think of it? Olivia? Yeah, okay. Olivia's reply came off weak and unfocused, like she wasn't talking to Ben at all. Can I count on you to be a part of it? Sure. I remain obscured from view. This doesn't seem like a conversation I should intrude on. I'll just catch up to Olivia later. Honestly, I'm somewhat surprised Ben is talking to her. No, maybe that Olivia is listening to Ben. That those differences are being put aside. For once, our priorities aligned. I had thought to come find Olivia, too. I wonder. Idekin was a mentor to each of us. Like he'd always been around to help us. But now, all the little things that make you anxious or aggravated are gone in an instant. And all that's left is reality. Why bother with this dramatic garbage? If now's not the time to be brought together, then when? I'm thinking too much. My hands are shivering. Something in my heart threatens to fall apart. But not now. Her voice was too quiet for me to hear, but whatever she said wasn't what Ben wanted to hear. Olivia, I need to know that you're with me on this. Yeah. Olivia. Ben kneels right next to Olivia's chair, putting the two at eye level, though she kept hers averted to the side. I need to know that you're in on this fully. There is a strange panic in the Parasaur's voice. Please, Olivia. For him. Finally, after what felt like a few minutes, despite it only being like 4 or 5 seconds, Olivia looks back at Ben's face and gives him a meek nod. I'm going to take that as a yes, then. The Gator girl gives no other reply to Ben's words. The only sign that his words have registered in her mind were her hands suddenly, yet gently shaking, all the while her claws dug even deeper into a wheelchair's armrest. Her bulwark broke at last. Seeing the droplets from her eyes drives a searing pain through my chest. My instincts drove me forward, beyond any of my common sense. I grip the blue boy's shoulder and pull him up. Ben. The parasaur's eyes snap up towards me. He makes eye contact with me, a depressive expression coating his face. Inko, what are you doing here? I wanted to see Olivia. Olivia's silver eyes finally lift, and the pain reflected in them threatens to shatter my aching heart. Ben looks back to see those mournful eyes, too, though his reaction seems the opposite to mine as a smile draws across his face. Inko, hear me out. I'm trying to organize a eulogy for Anakin. You know, say our goodbyes to him. He deserves it, at least. Olivia, me, and you, he helped each of us so much, and while the parasaur rambles on, I turn my attention slowly on Olivia. I push past Ben and take a knee next to Olivia. Now eye level with her. Ben finally stops talking. I can feel his stare boring into the back of my head. He wants an answer for whatever he was just talking about. A eulogy for Mr. Anakin. It's so surreal to think about that. To think that I spoke to him only yesterday, and today he's just gone. A eulogy. Yeah, it's the least we could do for Anakin and as his pupils. He deserves so much more, though. So much. Right, yeah. Olivia's probably feeling what I'm feeling right now. This fight between reality and emotions. Anakin's gone, and I'm still trying to process it. Trying to accept the fact that I'll never see him again, or listen to him again, or get advice from him again. Never get to impress him, or show him how much I've improved because of his lessons. I don't think I'm ready to accept that he's gone. Ben clears his throat, snapping me from my stupor and back to our current reality. I'm sorry to be so pushy, but I need to know if you and Olivia are in or not. Ben turns to look at Olivia as he says those words. Olivia, meanwhile, continues to stare absent-mindedly at the wall, almost as if Ben's words were not emanating from right next to her, but from a few dozen miles away instead. Ben, I don't think... I suddenly feel a cool, scaled hand fall on top of my own. I turn to look at Olivia's pain-stricken eyes. They gaze deeply into mine, pleading, begging to make the pain vanish. I don't quite know what I should do. Olivia needs us now, more than ever. I think Ben has the right idea. It's what Anakin would want. These are scary times, so it makes sense to be afraid, to be hurt. Don't worry, Olivia. I place my other hand on Olivia's reassuringly. I'm here with you. We all are. Ben is extending the olive branch here, right? You just need to accept it. Ben gives a tense, shaky, but approving nod. I'm glad you guys are seeing this situation for what it is, and just how important it is that we make this eulogy something beautiful. Olivia glances around hazily, her voice broken. I don't want him to be gone, Inko. There's too much that I didn't. I know, but we need to face reality. And we can do it together. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to face anything at all. It's okay, Olivia. I know I was close to Ideken, but you clearly meant so much more to him, and him to you. He was the only teacher that seemed to really care, right? She nods. So you're the most hurt, the most afraid. Afraid? And we're here to support you. You just need to help us help you. If you're not ready to face reality, we can help you to think straight, to face it together. Can you do that? Her eyes rove over to both Ben and I, and then back to our interlocked fingers. I take hold of her other hand. She blushes and looks me dead in the eyes. Can you help us? Okay. I'll think about it. I'm still afraid, but if you're there, I'm here. Ben clears his throat. That was very inspiring of you, Inko. His hands aren't tensed up. He's calmed down a bit. He opens his mouth to continue, but I hold a hand up to stop him. Olivia's had enough for one day. Ben, could we get some alone time together? Of course. I'll give you a bit of time to process all this. Ben walks up to me and pats me on the shoulder. With a final solemn look at Olivia and nod towards me, he walks out of the classroom and leaves Olivia and I alone. As the door clicks close behind me, I hear Olivia take a sharp and shuddery breath before turning to look at me. Her eyes are glossy and puffy on the edges. Trails of tears stain down her cheeks, and her expression is of someone who doesn't want to believe that it's true, but knows deep down that it is. As I look at her, I feel my emotions come back twice as hard. I need to be strong for her sake, damn it. Olivia, I try to find the proper words to say something to her. Anything that could give her any sense of comfort to ease her pain. But I feel my throat begin to tighten like someone's hand is around my neck. I don't even notice I'm crying until my vision becomes blurred with tears. Without thinking, I wrap my arms around the Baronix and pull her into a hug. Olivia seems shocked at first, frozen by my sudden reaction. But then I feel a pair of arms wrap around me and hands clutching my jacket. Olivia begins to softly sob into my shoulder. I feel my own resolve break down as I hear the increasing pain in her cries. When we're like this, I can't even pretend to be the stronger one anymore. Maybe I could bear the pain of Ideken, but seeing Olivia like this, I hold on tighter. I don't want to let her go. Suddenly, she mumbles something into my shoulder. What was that? We pull apart, and I look over Olivia. Her sunken face is covered in splotches and trails of wet and dry tears. She's hyperventilating and looks like an absolute mess right now. Despite this, her eyes are fierce and lively as they meet mine. I need to do something. Right now? She doesn't respond, hurriedly rolling down the hall towards the elevator. Where would she? The fountain. The only place she could be going. I step forward to follow her, but stop. No matter how hard I try, I can't continue. This is Olivia's promise, not mine. I have no right to intrude into it like that. My hesitancy has robbed me of any choice in the matter. She went alone. I'm a fucking idiot. Alone in this freezing weather, while she's going through this. What the hell was I thinking? I start my silent march through the halls, out the building, and into the frozen wilderness. It's cold out, freshly starting to snow. The world just feels so much smaller, muted and colorless. Now's not the time. I must find Olivia. There's thin tire tracks in the thinly laid on snow, pathing out down the sidewalk. I follow them. The path is serene. The falling flecks of white makes it feel like one of Olivia's landscapes. The fountain must just be around the corner. Oh, God. I should have gone with her. Of course the fountain is only accessible with stairs. The steps are tall and coated with a thin layer of ice. It's a death trap. Something rolls down and bumps my shoe. It's one of Olivia's handles. My face flashes with heat and my blood runs cold. Oh my God, I can't lose two people in one day, please. I will myself to look up. 8 steps up, Olivia's wheelchair is toppled over on its back. Seat ripped, wheels spread, it's unrecoverable. Olivia is 2 steps further, halfway onto the next ledge. Her arms reaches up for the next one. Olivia! Olivia stops and slowly looks back. It's a look of shock and humiliation at being seen like this. She turns back and starts pulling herself up to the next step. Damn it, Olivia. I take a step up and catch myself. It's a wonder she's even got this far. But I find my balance and start marching up towards her. Her arm slips on the ledge and she falls back. I caught her in my arms from behind. I didn't make it. She looks up at me, eyes still filled with tears. I carefully set her down on one of the steps. She hides her face in her palms. I failed Ideken. Olivia chokes back a sob. I'm just a stupid fuck-up. Fucking chair. And then continues to weep. I sit there and stare for a moment, trying to figure out what to do. I haven't really ever been in a situation like this. The poor girl is shaking. Whether it's from the cold or situation, I don't know. Instinctively, I wrap my arm around her and pull her close to me. Olivia shifts her body accordingly, and we end up in an embrace. Her sobbing calms down to just occasional hiccups, and her body is no longer sapping the heat from me either. Sorry, Inko. Sorry for what? Everything. Being an asshole, being a failure, making you waste your time on me. I'm just awful. Don't say that. I love you is what I wanted to say. Now isn't the time. I'm your friend. You know that. I'm here for you in the same way you're here for me. Olivia breaks away from our hug. Her face is tear-stained, but she isn't crying anymore. She's looking down at her wheelchair. Do you have a spare at home? No. I stand up, look up at the stairs, towards the fountain, then back to Olivia. I can call Liz if you want. She can come pick us up after we're done. We can worry about your chair then. You're not a failure, Olivia. We're getting you to that fountain. I reach my hand down towards her. Olivia's confusion erodes into a soft smile as she stares at my hand. And then back to me. Come lower. Let me grab your shoulder. I've done this a few times before. I lean in closer, and Olivia pivots as best as she can. Once more, she uses her tail as an anchor in place of her legs. It's holding her up pretty well. Never considered it, but that tail must be pretty muscular. Let's go. I want to make Idakin proud. I climb up the next step, planting my foot on solid ground. Olivia waits for me to stop before quickly moving her tail up to the next step as well. It's sort of like we're each one leg. Simple enough. It only now occurs to me how close we are right now. By close, I mean I'm practically cradling Olivia against my side. Up another step. Eventually, we make it to the top. I manage to shuffle to the fountain. You can just put me down right here. Alright. I gently lower Olivia down and place her on the lid of the fountain. There's just enough space for her to sit along the edge, with one leg resting on top and the other hanging off of it. She looks into the still water in contemplation. My eyes follow hers, focusing in on the coins that have settled on the bottom of the fountain, though hard to see through the opaque ice. I stuffed my hands in my pockets for warmth, feeling the skin of my knuckles start to split already. My fingers trace over the quarters I'd usually use on our lunchtime drinks. The powerful sneeze draws me away from my meandering thoughts to see the Gator girl quiver on the cold concrete seat. Damn it. Her jaw is clenched tight, baring her sharp teeth to the world. Her nostrils flare with each of her breaths, the hot air creating a puff of visible mist. And her eyes are filled to the brim with a fiery rage and salty tears. I want to break the silence between us. Ask for her thoughts. She's deep within them then, though, raging within her own mind. finally having the moment to process everything that's happened. In the end, it's Olivia that breaks the silence, with a single, quiet, disdain-filled curse. Damn it. Her eyes shut, keeping her tears from falling. Damn it. A hiss seized through her lips. I made it. I finally made it. But the thought goes unfinished. She lets her shoulders down and turns her gaze away from the spouting water, listlessly gazing towards the obscured afternoon sun that's just managing to peek through the clouds and snow-covered trees. Maybe she's imagining that's where he is now. But what now? I withdraw my hand from my pocket, holding it open for her to see the pocket change in my palm. Scanning over the water before us, I think back to all the times I wanted to do just this with someone else. How about we make a wish? Olivia's brow furrows as she glances off to the side. Her fingers grips her hoodie, and I watch as she considers my suggestion thoroughly. Sure, a wish sounds nice right now. I motion her forward. The Gator girl holds her hand out to me, and I drop a quarter into her palm. On 3. I nod in reply. 1, 2, 3. I wish for... Our twin coins flip up in the air together. I watch as the coins spin skyward, crashing through the falling snowflakes. At their apex, the coins seem to pause, just to briefly touch one another. And with a synchronized plop, both of the quarters hit the water together. Leaning forward, I see that the coins even landed on the same side, heads. I wonder if that'll double our chances of making our wishes come true or something. I let out a huff in amusement from Olivia's comment. Though the more I think about it, the more I hope it does. We stay there, looking at the fountain together in silence. For a moment, it feels as though time has stopped around us. It's just me and Olivia experiencing the moment together. It almost makes me forget what had just transpired, what we're dealing with, what kind of future the two of us were looking at. For this moment, though, none of those dreadful thoughts mattered. What matters right now is finding a small bit of peace, of solace. A little bit of calm before the storm that was inevitably coming. A harsh wind chill finally brings Olivia and I out of our thoughts. Hey, I'm sorry for being super distant earlier. You don't have to apologize for that, Olivia. Everyone goes through these sorts of things differently. I know, but I just feel bad. I know I'm not the only one who's sad that Ideken is gone, but... Her pause makes me stop and turn around to face her. I can see it in her face that she's trying to form the right words. Ideken was the first person who I felt was a role model for me. He didn't just believe in me, he made me believe in myself. Not just for my art, but being able to succeed in general. I knew that Ideken meant a lot to her, but I never realized he meant that much to her. More than anything, he actually cared about me. About my thoughts and my dreams. I felt... Olivia's lips tremble as she struggles to voice the thought. Normal. God, I probably sound stupid saying that. I shake my head in disagreement. You don't. Mr. Ideken was important to me as well. It's okay, Olivia. I know how you feel. He gave me some of the best advice I'd ever gotten from anyone. and encouraged me to follow my dreams, like you. I wish I had met him sooner. There's a moment of silence between us, the air filled with a mix of sympathetic emotions. A shared sadness for the passing of someone who made an impact in both of our lives, but a sense of thankfulness that he graced our lives. I guess we both got our issues, huh? Yeah, I guess so. A fresh breeze of icy air sends a shudder down my spine. So, what should we do now? I pat off the growing pile of snow off my shoulders and head. Oh, that's gotta be cold. Oh, let's see. I'll look at my phone. School's ending in 10 minutes. Do you want to just chill here until then? No pun intended. Sure. I look around, noticing a tiny bench for two nestled against a tree. The Gator girl must have noticed, as she's already holding her arms out for me. I recall something. A certain pair of raptors. I kneel down, facing away from Olivia. I can feel the icy flakes melt off of me as Olivia leans against me again. Her powerful arms wrap around my shoulders, clawed fingers digging into my jacket. My fingers lock together to form a makeshift seat for her behind me. With my passenger secured, I make a beeline for the bench. Lest I get caught up in what I feel pressing into my back. She lets herself drop onto the bench, uncaring for a landing. Taking a page from the book of Olivia, I also drop uncaringly next to her, just glad to have some shelter from the increasing snowfall. So here we are, mission accomplished for Olivia. Now what? My curiosity compels me to ask Olivia something. If you don't mind me asking, what did you ask for? What did you wish for? I don't think you can tell someone what you wished for, or else it won't come true. The superstitious side of myself says that she has a fair point, so I decide not to push her any further on it. Just curious is all. We continue relaxing in comfortable silence. I mean, I don't mind telling you if you tell me yours. I guess that's only fair. What did I wish for just now? It's hard to put into words. It's not something specific, rather a feeling that I keep coming back to. Back before I came to the school, I would have wished for more friends or a successful future, or to take back something embarrassing from the past. But now that I think about it, I didn't need to make a wish. That's too vague. I know, but I don't know how else to put it. Come on, at least try. My best memories from the past few months. This. Being outside in the freezing cold? No, not that. What do you mean, then? I struggle to find the words without making myself sound stupid. You know, we've hung out a lot together. But it's not often that it's just the two of us. Just us? Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. I wish it was like that more often. The Baronic's eyes go wide. Shoot, maybe that came across too weird. I mean, I just want to get closer to you, you know? I watched the beginnings of a blush form across Olivia's cheeks. Wait. I don't mean it like that. I want to get to know you better. Each different face. She glances away and laughing nervously as her tone changes drastically. Yeah, I understand. Totally. I breathe a silent sigh of relief. You want to know what I wished for? If you don't want to share, you don't have to. No, I asked for yours. It's only right. I wished to know what I want to wish for. I glance across the bench towards her. I can't make sense of anything right now. I want today to be over, frozen, and to have never happened all at once. I want Idakin back, but I don't want to just replace him with someone else. It's too late to start all over again. She stops to wipe her eyes, but they're already dry. All I've ever wanted was to be someone he would be proud of. But it just feels impossible. She looks away. I ended up picking something lame. Sorry. What's that? Olivia's still looking away, so while I can hear her hesitation, I can't tell what she's thinking. I threw that coin, and just out of everything racing in my mind, the one thought that stuck out the most was just... She chews her lips in contemplation for a moment, and when she finally continues, her voice is a soft whisper. I want somebody I can trust. I feel my face heat up from her words and her tone. Even with her head turned, I notice a red flush creeping over Olivia's face, too. I instinctively jerk my head the other direction. Shoot, what do I do now? We're both sitting motionless, neither daring to say another word. If I listen closely, I feel like I can hear her heartbeat from here. She can probably hear mine as well. I don't even notice the cold anymore. Maybe we can just stay like this for a few weeks. No, don't be ridiculous. You need to tell her how you feel. I clear my throat, searching for words that wouldn't come. She just said she wanted somebody to trust. I mean, you can trust me. I hear shuffling from Olivia. Damn it, I can't work up the nerve to turn my head towards her. My neck feels like a rusted hinge as I try to disobey my body and look at her through my periphery. Do you trust me? Despite my words, she nods her head vigorously, the blush growing dangerously bright. Well, I shift my body towards her on the bench. I trust you, too. Suddenly, she shakes her head a bit to bring herself back to reality. Maybe I can be honest with you, then. You're silly, and you're ridiculous. Maybe a little over-optimistic. You're thoughtful and adventurous, and you're so willing to just take me with you. You don't treat me any differently for this stupid thing. She lightly hits the armrest of the bench. Guess I stopped noticing it at some point. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you're like... So many words dance on the tip of my tongue. Like... My mouth and my brain are at a standstill. One wanting to just blurt whatever while the other keeps it all in and disseminates it in a thoughtful manner. What comes out is blaragle. Boggle. What? A furious snort rips from the Gator girl's nose, followed by peals of laughter. Out of embarrassed shame, I cover my face with my hands. What was that? I curse my nerves as I try to protest her continued guttural guffaws. Come on, Olivia, I'm really trying. The snowflakes that managed to still land on me melt away from the extreme heat radiating from my whole head. Olivia acquiesces, though, drawing back into just a very smug grin. Okay, take two, Inko. My head's temperature finally drops from core of the sun to a more manageable volcano. Thanks, jerk. Seeing that small quirk on our own lips, I can't stop a smile from growing on my face. I guess, be honest with her and yourself. Honest. At the very start, I thought you were just out of it. What? You almost ran me over in the hallway. Oh. She frowns and looks away. Sorry. And then you tried to get my seat moved. Sorry. And the claw thing today. Not sorry about that. I figured. And you used to be so hard to talk to. I felt awkward every time I'd even try. Like, thank Raptor Jesus for Damien and Liz, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten to know the real you. Olivia rings her clawed fingers together. And what do you think of the real me? She's easily the most caring person I've ever known. I mean, yeah, she can be a little selfish and doesn't think ahead sometimes. But when she cares for something, she just has to do everything she possibly can for whatever it is. Is that what you think? Yes, I think you're quite caring and passionate and what? And I know Mr. Heidekin saw that in you too. Olivia's eyes water at the mention of our mentor. Thank you, Inko. Now's the time, Inko. Just say it. Hey, Inko? Say it! Say it! Say it! Say it! Say it! Do you like me? Yes? Why does talking have to be so hard? God! I I prepare for Olivia's smug one-liner to crush my weak confession. Instead, I watch as Olivia brings her hood up and hides her eyes with it. Really? For some reason, seeing her like this fills me with a well of confidence. Yeah. Can I hear you say it? I like you, Olivia. I don't get how. Her head peels away just enough so I can see her shivering silver eyes. Why would you like someone like me? Well, to just... I like you too. Olivia brings her legs to her chest, holding the limbs tightly to her. Those stupid slippers, man. She brings her hoodie's hem over her legs, transforming herself into a crocodile-shaped igloo. And Olivia glue. What the fuck? Slippers were a bad idea. Oh, crap. Yeah, you okay? Fine, just call someone. I cough awkwardly and get my phone out to call Liz. Hello? Inko, is that you? Aren't you supposed to be in class right now? Scalar let Olivia and I out early. Oh, okay. I was told about Professor Ideken. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm with Olivia by that old park by the school. Her chair's busted and we're kinda stuck. There's a keening whine from the bundled crocodile next to me, her tail wrapping around her as if to hug herself. Broke? In this weather? Are you two okay? We're fine. Can you come pick us up? Sure, I think I remember where that is. I'm with Principal Scalar right now. Once we're finished, I can get you two on the way home. Thanks. After some shuffling, the call drops. I turn back to Olivia. She seems more anxious than anything right now. You alright? Yeah. I'll be okay. The stovepipe maw of the Olivia... Don't make me say this multiple times, please. The Olivia glue shatters quietly in the cold. My concern finally takes hold, forcing me to finally close the gap between us. She said the chair had no replacement. It'll take a while for a new one to come in. That means she'll be trapped at home, completely sealed off from the outside. Man. The beginning of Olivia's annoyed protests die of exposure, becoming a grumbling acceptance as I wrap my arms around her shivering form. You're lucky you're warm, Inko. Yeah, I definitely feel like it, as her body shifts and nestles closer against me. Olivia's tail lays on my lap, the shivers reverberating throughout it the most. I lay my palm atop it, feeling the cold limbs shaking slowly still. Some long-distant trivia about limbs losing heat the fastest springs to mind, and in the hopes of keeping the frostbite away, I pet the heavy tail. And as I do, I hear the silliest sound rumbling from Olivia's chest and through the rest of her. It's like a purring cat, almost. There's a new sensation on my cheek now, soft and warm. She's... uh. Her lips are firmly planted on my cheek, and this feels nice. As I continue to warm her tail for her, I feel her warm lips press more and more against my cheek. I don't know if kisses are supposed to go this long and be this wet. And now the lips are moving and some pointy things are there and... what? Whoa, hold up. What the fuck? And there's her teeth. Olivia instantly lets go of my cheek from her non-lethal bite. Oh fuck, sorry. I knew this stuff, and I'm nervous. It's okay, really. I put a hand to my cheek to feel the damage. I feel the indents of her fangs, but nothing serious. Don't worry, I'm kind of into it. A little bit. I almost even start falling asleep before we hear a car pull up to the bottom of the hill. Olivia perks up and leans forward to try to see who it is. A few seconds later, Liz's head rises above the stairs, scanning like a submarine periscope. Crap, it's going to be tough getting all the way back down, even with Liz's help. I look back and smile at Olivia, still huddled against herself and clinging to my arm. You ready? Today seemed to drag on endlessly. Liz's arrival had ended our embrace, and she had quite the dour look on her face. She said she's been in a meeting with the principal, and I could only imagine how the faculty and student council were reacting to Ideken's passing. Her mood seemed to lift a little, at least, when she saw Olivia and I both huddled together beneath a tree, Kissing. Olivia's mood, on the other hand, plummeted. Probably from the way Liz and I had to carry her to her car. The ride to the Payne household had been silent, save for Olivia's grumbling and embarrassment. Think I'd be in a similar mood if I was treated like a sack of potatoes, but then again, how else were we supposed to carry her? I should suggest more leg workouts to Coach Solly. You get fit, baby. just in case. Oh. Damien and Randy were waiting for us at the curb, the older man looking over Olivia with worry. When your friend told us, Sophie and I were beside ourselves. I'm fine, Randy. Randy didn't really hear her, as the instant her car door was open, her legal guardian pulled her up into one hell of a bear hug. Come on, I'll get you kids some hot cocoa. Damien watched on with a smile of relief as his father hauled her over his shoulder and marched into his home. You guys want to stick around? Vinny's still in school, so we'll have the consoles to ourselves. It's still pretty early, all things considered. Sure, I'd love some hot chocolate right now. Liz? I'd like to, really, but the council still needs to prepare the arrangements for Ideken's. Well, you know. Maybe I'll come by after if I can. Well, all right. Well, if you do, just make sure I'll make sure there's some cocoa left. Appreciate it. With that, Liz drives off down the street. Come on, let's sit inside before we turn into popsicles.